I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
Give me some sugar.
Say hello.
I see you coming down the
What's
aisle.
up there, call boys?
Break me in the mouth. Yes.
You have failed.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, and alongside me, as always, it's Juan, Little Caesar 4-3, and our special guest for episode 116. We have the one and the only Golden J, the Emperor.
Hello, all of my call guys freaks out there. It is I, Golden J. That's all I got.
Hanging out with, jumping
One
back
keel
in.
and one kill for the rebound.
For the rebound.
He's not.
The pizza chef himself.
He's not shooting threes.
I never saw a shot I didn't like. You ask anybody who played a basketball game with me.
Yep, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
And I will be the first to tell you that my fadeaway is better than your wide open layup. So,
Oh shit! You ain't seen my wide open layup. I look like a freaking little fat dash hound running at that fucking.
hopefully that comment's for Jake. He'll understand what it means.
How does Jake have dachshunds?
No, Jake's got a good story about my fadeaways.
Oh, gotcha. I was gonna say, when dachshund people here.
I mean,
Colton.
I think an episode of just Jake telling Colton stories for an hour and a half would just be pretty amazing.
Yeah, we've talked about
My
it.
lord.
We've talked about Jordan and Jake coming on and just going at it.
It would be the worst episode because we would fight the entire time.
But you can't be on it.
Oh, you're right. No, that would be the only way. It would just be those two. If it was those two, they could run with it. Throw me in there, it's over.
Over.
How about the roast of Colton Keel, and where you just
Lord.
mute his track and he just has to sit there and take it for an hour and a half.
We just put him in a big chair and have him sit there and just put the camera on him.
That's right.
Hey, that Tom Brady roast, I'm going to tell you this right now. Did not enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
I think I talked about it on the Golden 80s last week, where I talked about it. I mean, there was just cringe-worthy moments in that whole entire thing.
Too many Aaron Hernandez jokes for me.
Yeah. That was a bit over.
The kids, I agree. You shouldn't go after the kids. I think those should be off limits. Go after the ex-wife all you want. That's fine. Kids and Aaron, anything that dealt with Aaron Hernandez, I thought was real. That's what I was like. I was watching. I was like, this isn't good. I don't like this. Like, I legitimately stopped watching after some of them. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I just
But
watched the clips.
Between Bill Belichick and what's the owner? The owner's name, I can't think of it.
Kraft.
Yeah, Robert Kraft. It was just so uncomfortable. Even at watching it, you just felt this uncomfortableness, and then you're just like, I just don't know if I can take this.
Yep, I agree.
The roast of Juan Gil for 3. I
And
like it.
to boot, I don't care what Jeff Ross. I don't care for him as a roast master, whatever. I think he's absolutely fucking terrible, and he needs to. They need to stop having him on. Everybody thinks he's so damn great. I think he's horrible.
Yeah, not my
Yeah.
favorite. Not my favorite.
Nikki Glazer though killed it. She was pretty good.
She's
Did she
the
have
best one there.
Did she have a Hernandez joke in there? I don't remember.
I thought she did.
It's a good possibility. She
I
probably.
don't know.
did,
I kind of like I heard it and I just zoned out and I was like, could not do it, man. Could not do it.
It was painful in spots.
But that is kind of unfortunately what you sign up for.
Absolutely.
What you sign up for?
here we are trying to get through this intro as quick as possible because this is going to be a nice short episode for you out there. So everyone just strap it in. So
And anybody
Well-
watching on YouTube got to watch Colton eat a slice of pizza.
hey, my pizza. I'm done with the pizza. Okay.
And now the rest of the episode, you can watch him watch the NBA Finals.
Hey, it is game one. When this comes out, they already have played the second game, so hopefully Boston's up 2-0. Gonna make that happen right now. Suck it, ISO. 2 away. So yeah, hoping for some good stuff here.
I forgot to ask: are the Pistons in the playoffs?
No, they've been playing extremely hard to get the top 5 pick in the draft, to be a top 5 pick in the draft. And the beauty of it, since tanking, I'm sorry, Gunner. The tanking was so bad in the mid 2010s with the 76ers, they made a rule that just because you have the worst record doesn't mean you get the number 1 pick.
Oh,
Essentially, it's a lottery system. But if you do have the worst record, you have the highest chances of getting the first pick, essentially. And then after that, you have so many picks that you can only go. Like for the Pistons last year, they were the worst team in the NBA. Go figure. Their best pick they could have got was number 1, and their worst pick they could get is number 5. That's
Okay.
the absolute worst pick they could get. Guess what happened again this year?
Worse than the league.
Suck it, ISO. Suck it. So let me know when you all make a playoff series, let alone win a playoff game. Don't come talking to me, brother.
brother.
So
That was so much fun to do the United States Paranormal with ISO.
I didn't enjoy it. Worst episode ever.
Worst episode ever. I loved it, man. I there's so much. I laughed that entire fucking episode, man. It was great. I do want to take a hot take on your 3-part Power Rangers series. I was very upset with it. For one simple reason. Every time I listened to an episode for the rest of that fucking day, all I sang was "Go Go Power Rangers."
Go, go, Power Ranger.
Yes,
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I cursed the call guys for the entire day, the rest of the Monday. No, man, the series was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. It made me go back and watch. Didn't finish Turbo for the
That's
simple
all right.
fact that I just haven't had time.
Oh
But
gosh, you don't need to.
I forgot though. I did enjoy the 2017 this Saban's Power Rangers. I did enjoy that. Probably because there wasn't a lot of spandex and so forth, but I did enjoy a lot more of the CG and Elizabeth Banks. I mean, come on, what a great actress. She killed it as
Gunner.
Rita.
She didn't.
She didn't.
She didn't. Speaking of my top 10, no. Every movie has Elizabeth Banks in it.
Ooh, there we go.
I bet you do have one of her movies. I bet
I
she's in
don't.
one of your top.
No.
Really? I'm
No.
surprised. I figured you might give a bone to a movie.
Nope.
Yeah,
Oh,
Zach and
sorry.
Miro make a porno. One of the greats. Speaking of a bone.
Speaking of a bone, paleontologist out there. Emperor, how you doing?
I right now I'm great. This is the last piece of my week. My schedule has been jam packed, and I'm looking forward to getting on here with you guys, and then basically shutting down for the weekend and just having a nice relaxing weekend because I haven't had one of those in a while. So
Do it.
I'm ready.
Do
I am
it.
so ready. How about you?
Good. I'm good. I got a question. Did either of you see the new Lego Star Wars trailer?
No.
Oh my
I'm
God.
intrigued.
It looks amazing. It's like
That could have been movie news.
Sorry, film news, late film news on that. I'm not going to put in the intro, but
Oh, you got to
yeah.
put the intro in. Put the intro in right here.
All right, the film news. There's a new Lego Star Wars trailer, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. It's like a TVA Marvel style thing where they change something happens and it changes and it starts turning like Ewoks turn into bounty hunters, and oh man, it looks incredible for a Lego movie. So yeah, go check
I'm
that
here
out.
for
Go
it.
check that trailer out. I'll send it to you guys later, or you can go find it later. It's up to you. But
Right on.
Darth Jar Jar. I mean,
Nice.
it looks really good. It looks like it'll be fun to watch. So, but other than that, I'm good. I saw that today. It looked really exciting. Going camping this weekend. Or sorry, this is Monday. I went camping last weekend.
I went camping.
How was it? Was it fun?
I'm sure it was great.
How was that little one-man tent of yours?
Dude, that thing's actually pretty nice. I'm excited to try it out. I'm excited that I got to try it out. Yeah, Colton, how you mean?
Man, I'm good. I am good. Getting through this month. This month is the worst month in the world. So here we are.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, busy month for us. We've got like 18 birthdays.
yeah,
Oh.
including the wife.
What?
Including the wife. It was belated birthday to Bree.
Oh, I just heard the why.
That's
I
what I
didn't hear
caught the
the
first
Y.
time. Yeah.
I
The
was like,
Y.
I was like, what?
MCA. Including the
Yes,
wife. The
yes.
wife.
Happy belated birthday to the wife. Yeah. So, yeah, got some exciting stuff coming up. So excited for what we have coming up on here. We are working on our special guest interview as we speak. So hopefully we have a better idea of what is going on there in the upcoming weeks. I just think I know as host, Gunnar and I are very excited to do this interview, and I hope that just trickles down to the rest of our listeners, because I don't think we've had this type of guest on within the Empire.
No, I would say
No.
no.
We might have come close. We might have come close. Probably not to the height of what you guys are working towards, but we Golden 80s might have had a guest that
Yeah, you had to
ranked up
get
in the-
all those B film. That B film.
Yep.
I can't think of his name.
AC McCrae.
AC. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
And the
like-
Tromo, he's a Tromo guy. I mean, he's worked with a lot of Tromo movies and what he was an amazing guest. I hope that your guest is as much fun and has as many stories as AC brought to that show. But with your guest, we're talking a little higher up in the
Industry.
world. So industry,
it's
yes.
made a couple more dollars than,
One or two, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if the budget is how much those movies have made total.
Oh, I mean, if you if you take half the budget, you might even get to their other full budget. Oh man. But yeah, but I mean, all in all though, AC's coming back on Golden 80s. We just haven't
Good.
Nailed it down yet, but I'd love to get him on United States Paranormal, but we've been so swamped with everything we've been doing over there that we haven't had time to reach out to him, because he's got a whole paranormal closet, basically like a shed that they store some things in that are pretty interesting. So maybe hopefully we can get around to doing something with him about that too.
Nice.
Also want to apologize to Logan. We had a schedule for this past Tuesday for me to record with him to do our Meet the Host interviews and completely forgot.
Nope, don't matter. We're still roasting you, brother.
Yep, you guys can roast me. So here in a couple of weeks, expect to hear Colton's episode first instead of mine, and then that'll be on a Friday. We're gonna release those on a Friday. So yeah, be excited. They're gonna be an extra episode during 2 weeks, and it should be fun. Logan did a great job with United States Paranormal.
He did.
If you've enjoyed him on the Call Guys, you'll enjoy him doing that too. So
Yeah.
all
Colton,
right.
Colton, have you recorded you haven't recorded yours yet though with him.
No. That'll be
Okay.
we do that. We'll do that next week.
Well, yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah. We'll do it next week. So
yeah.
pretty
Be
excited about it.
prepared. Be
No,
prepared.
I can't. There's one question I do hope I get. I do hope I get one question that he's asked the majority, I believe, of the other interviewees, so to speak.
Is that your final meal?
No, I could care less about that. I actually hope I don't get asked that because I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Just say flatbread pizza, homemade flatbread pizza.
Hey, that was pretty good.
No.
That was
Sushi-
pretty good.
Get him some sushi and a Guinness.
There you go.
I don't know what else. Sushi
Yeah.
and a Guinness, you'd be
Oh,
happy.
gosh, that doesn't sound like a good mix, man.
You're gonna die. Doesn't matter.
I
That's a
say,
good, that's a good point.
I mean, I would get whatever you wanted, and that'd fill up. So when they electrocute you, you just shit yourself, and they have to clean that up. So what do you think about that?
One more for the road, huh?
That's right. Boom. How do you like me now?
That's what you get.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
All right, you guys ready to hop into this?
Ugh.
This is gonna get.
I
kinda
mean,
wild.
I got a question of the pod. Call guys
80s
edition.
edition.
Call
That's
guys
true.
edition.
Let me throw that to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Since this week's episode is about top 10 movies of ours. What, if you can remember, what is the first movie that you saw in theater? And if you can remember the year, what movie did you first see in the theater? Or in where it was?
I can assure you that my first movie was probably in Warsaw, but I don't remember what movie it would have been. Small Soldiers, maybe.
Small Soldiers. How old were you?
I don't even know when that movie came out. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, dude.
My story, I'm sticking to it. It probably came out in what, 2000 something? 2003?
I don't remember seeing Small Soldiers in the theater. Honestly.
I really don't. I don't remember my first movie theater movie.
Man, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
A Bug's Life, Warsaw Movie Theater. That is now the hotel for Zimmer Biomet there on the corner. That was the first movie I went and saw was A Bug's Life. I think that was 96
Nice.
ish. I'd have to double check that. Good Lord, that was nasty. Sorry. Jaylen Brown just split the lane and then just put Kyrie on a flipping poster. Man, suck it, ISO. See, this is what you're gonna get. I'm sorry. That's a good play.
Fuck you, Tom.
Anywho, A Bug's Life, Warsaw Movie Theater that's no longer there, is the first movie that I remember going to see.
Nice.
I remember two movies. I don't know which one came first, to be honest, and I don't remember them. I don't have vivid memories of either or, but I remember that we saw the original. Well, I guess I shouldn't say the original, but the King Kong that you guys covered, was that the 78?
Oh,
Was that 78?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I've forgotten that whole movie besides
Right.
the end.
Right on. I remember seeing that, but I also remember seeing the original Star Wars. I'm assuming it was 77 when it came out. Like I said, I don't have like mass memories of it. I just remember being there. I remember having the cups and from the theater, the plastic cups and all that shit. So Other than that, I don't remember going. Fuck, I'd have been 5 years old when that happened, so that's why I don't have like amassed memories of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that would be somewhere, and I don't remember where it was at. It would have to have been, I would think, in Warsaw. I would think probably at the same theater. I remember
Same.
seeing Twister in that theater,
Oh,
and
nice.
me and Bobby and Craig Stouter come one out there just like raring to go to tornado hunting.
Jason. Jason.
Yeah, chase him, chase him.
A good question,
What
Fulton.
what
It is a
about
good one.
what about the drive-in at Warsaw?
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of movies in there.
Didn't watch
The,
him.
didn't well, yeah. I remember sitting on the hood of my car while my buddy was in the back seat, and I was like, "Man, is this really worth a carton of cigarettes?" But oh well, I'll sit out here and watch the movie.
Jeez.
um, I said the Doors there. I saw Batman. I don't know how many times I've seen Batman. I think we went to the drive-in 20 times and seen Batman. I love that when Michael Keaton's Batman come out. Oh, um, there was another Michael Keaton movie that he made where he was like in a insane asylum. I can't think of what it was called. Remember seeing that. But yeah, I love the Warsaw Drive-In. I totally miss it.
Yeah.
It was a great drive-in, and it's definitely missed. Have you guys ever been to the Plymouth one? Have you ever went over there?
Oh yeah.
Long time ago.
Oh yeah. We used to go so with Jake's family, I used to go with them a lot because
Right
that
on.
was their dad's like favorite place to go and watch a movie.
The
A lot
the
of
last
memories out there.
the last movie I seen in the Plymouth Drive-In was Super 8.
I was there. I actually saw Super 8
Really?
out at that drive-in.
Nice.
Hated
Great.
it.
Great movie. Great action movie.
Shut
I'm
up.
trying.
Just shut up.
That's a top tier. That's top tier, like top three of all action movies of all time, isn't
Yep.
it?
What's an action movie, Gutter? Whatever you want it to be.
What?
Okay.
Sky's the limit.
That's it. Sky is the limit.
Absolutely.
Speaking of sky is the limit, I gave you guys a task,
Oh,
a big task this week. And I am excited to hear what you guys came up with for your top 10 movies of all time. Exactly what this episode is about. Now, I'm not doing my top 10 because the past 105 episodes,
gonna say.
they've been on the wall. So I'm doing my 20 through 11, and I told Colton it's so much harder to choose 20 through 11 than it is to choose 1 through 10. So, in typical Call Guys fashion, we're going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No honorable mentions.
Yeah, unless you really want to.
my
I'm gonna
honorable
start one.
mentions list is really long.
Well,
My-
of course it is.
Mine was too because I went through and I listed so many movies, and I had a list of probably 35 movies, and I just started going through and saying, "Can I pick a scene from this movie? Can I pick a scene from this movie?" And then if I couldn't, cross it out, and I would end up coming back because I'd need 2 or 3 more, and then I got to a point the other night where I went back over it and I was like, you know what, this doesn't deserve to be there, so I took it off and I tried to find something new. So this has been a work in progress for me. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear what we got going. But the question is, who wants to start?
I don't care, man. I
Want
can.
me? Want me to start?
Well, I mean, you do have your top 10, so the real question is Emperor, who do you want to go last?
I don't care. My list is I don't have any dramatic things like the last time I was on here where I had 2 lists, and so mine's
Oh,
pretty
boy.
mine's pretty forward. So you guys pick it and let's go.
Um,
I'll go last, Gunner.
okay, you go. I'll go first. Emperor second.
Pre-production meeting made.
Completely finished. All right, so my number 20 movie, and to give a little bit of Golden's knocking stuff over, to give a little bit of free on this. We're doing director, year, a scene. Your signature scene is what I call it. Your favorite scene from the film, if you could pick one. And then whatever other stuff you want to say. So, you guys ready? My number 20
Let's do this thing.
came out in 1987,
Hey, I was alive then.
directed by Mel Brooks. It's Spaceballs.
Nice.
A movie I can go back to over and over again, and I cannot pick a signature scene in this because there's so many scenes, so many quotes. I've got when they're watching the DVD, and then they say, "This is now, you're now." Ludicrous Speed, that's a classic scene. Anything with Mel Brooks' yogurt, just hilarious, especially his merchandising scene. Merchandising. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Obviously, classic line. I'm your father's brothers, nephews, cousins, former roommate. So many good lines. So much fun. If you've
I
never
have to say,
seen it,
I have to say, like when they were combing the desert was one of
oh,
my favorites.
The
we
combing,
ain't
yes.
found shit.
Exactly.
So good. I just had a little bit like Rick Moranis, Mel Brooks, Bill Pullman, John Candy, Michael Winslow. You get the beeps, the sweeps, the creeps. Like it just, man, the whole movie's fun. It's good. I've watched it so many times. I made Sarah watch it. She absolutely hated it, which
Really?
doesn't surprise me. This is one of those when she read my list, she said, "Why is that on there?" Because Sarah, I've seen this movie 500 million times and I love it. So there you go. My number 20, Spaceballs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Emperor.
All right, let's go. Since we're just doing top 10, since we don't have a pre-existing list,
That's right.
I got to admit, man, this was tough, and I was scanning things trying to figure out exactly where everything fell, and I do have a list of honorable mentions that it just is huge. But my number 10 is from 2015, directed by Doug Ellen. Um, after I just wrote we were supposed to do a synopsis on this, right?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want
Okay.
to say about the movie.
Then after a long TV series, the movie picks up right where the show left off. Vincent Chase is offered a director's job by Ari Gold, and the chaos pursues. This movie has everything: money, sex, and Mark Wahlberg. It is Entourage.
Entourage.
I don't know what it is about this movie. I don't even know what it's like about this TV show, man. I came in late after it was already done, after it was already aired and all that. And I've watched the 5 or 6 seasons, probably 2 or 3 times all the way through. I've watched the movie a couple dozen times. I just love this fucking movie. Um, in the movie is Haley Joel Osment as the son of the oil tycoon that is funding this Vincent Chase movie. And he is relatively brilliant in this movie as far as, you know him as a child actor, but here he is as an adult. But my favorite scene in this is when Ari Gold, played by Jeremy Piven, goes to the hotel to ask him what was the problem is, and he has got two prostitutes and a can of whipped cream. It's one of my favorite all-time scenes. And yeah, so there you go. Entourage from 2015.
Yep.
Nice.
It's a good one. Colton?
Mine is 1992, directed by Kenny Ortega. I tried to pick movies from a little bit of all the genres that I enjoy. So mine's a little bit of a hodgepodge. So 92, directed by Kenny Ortega. It is a movie that is based in 1899 in New York City news boy strike. Jack Kelly, who is played by Christian Bale, leads a group of boys, mostly orphans, in a workers' strike due to unfair treatment and pay of the newsboys against none other than Joseph Pulitzer, played by Robert Duvall. Which, first time I saw this, I had to watch this movie like 5 times to realize that's freaking Robert Duvall. With the help of other newsies in the surrounding boroughs of New York and local writer Brian Denton, played by Bill Pullman,
Nice.
are able to fight back against big business, but will their efforts be for gain or will they lose everything they've earned and be sent to the refuge? This movie is a musical drama. It is Newsies. One of the first musicals I ever saw, and I absolutely fell in love with this kind of movie. I love every song. Um, enjoy seeing it in my later years and knowing who Christian Bale is now, and Bill Pullman because of Spaceballs mostly. Um, like it was cool to see that, and it's just a movie I grew up. I watched with my sister Emily all the time. Just a fun movie. Fun to sing the songs. Favorite scene is the song is Santa Fe by Christian Bale. He sings that song, kind of just about longing to be in a place where he can be free and not have to worry about anything. But the real thing of it is that there's this character called Racetrack. In the beginning of the day, he's trying to get a little extra money out of a guy because he's got a hot tip on a horse. Okay. Name's Racetrack. So he likes to bet a lot. So he comes up, Jack Kelly comes up, puts his hand on the back. He goes, "Hey, how was the day at the racetrack?" He goes, "Remember that hot tip I had on the horse?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, nobody told the horse." I laugh. I laugh every time. Every time
Nobody
I laugh at that
told
part.
the horse.
Nobody told the horse.
Nobody told the horse. That's funny.
So so yeah, just it's terribly acted movie now, but just a still a fun movie nonetheless. Of just fun, great musical to start the kids on. I think so. That
Nice.
is my number 10 is Newsies.
Newsies.
Nice. Nice.
If you go back to all the Call Guys episodes and if you can calculate how many times Colton's mentioned Newsies, probably just as many as
Well,
I've
I'm,
mentioned
I'm
Bill
waiting
and
for
Ted.
someone. I'm waiting for somebody to say, "Why is it a La La Land?"
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that'll
that's
come.
his number one. So I don't know.
Uh,
Oh gosh, you guys are pathetic.
all right, my number 19 came out 2014, directed by Dan Gilroy, and this follows a guy who gets a camera and he's a criminal that gets a camera and then he goes and he starts taking videos of crimes and ends up getting on the news and actually works for a news station to help their ratings. Stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Ann Cusack, Renee Russo, and Bill Paxton. This is one of those movies that I watch more for the cinematography and just everything that goes on in the background and watching Jake Gyllenhaal, commit crimes to show crimes on a news channel is just crazy to watch. And this is Nightcrawler, and I don't know if either of you have watched this movie, but
Yes,
it is
creepy,
great and very
creepy.
very creepy. Yes, I would say creepy is a good way to put it, but yeah, man, he just goes as far as he can to get these shots of all these different accidents and crimes that are happening. My signature scene is really the first time that he realizes that he can make the situations the way that he wants them. And what happens is he comes up to an accident that's just happened, and the guy's on the phone with the cops, and he's trying to interview him. And the guy just pretty much tells him to buzz off. So he goes over to the car and pulls the dead body out and tries to make these really good shots of the body laying out on the ground. And yeah, it's like the big turning point in the film for him to start really diving into doing it his own way and making him make more money, essentially. But
Yeah, I was gonna
great.
say he goes from like creep to like real creep real quick.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But I thought it was a
Um,
great movie. It is a good movie.
yeah, I love it. I watched it many times. I'm talking about it makes me want to watch it again. So yeah, 2014 Nightcrawler.
Right on. Nice. All right. My number nine is a 2002 movie directed by Ed Decker, a high school senior branded a loser, uncool, and all that good stuff. Gets himself expelled so he can change his image to a cool kid at the town's other high school. That's right. This movie stars DJ Quails, Lyle Lovett, Elijah
Yes.
Dushku,
This is a
Zoe Deschanel, and Eddie Griffin. My number 9
such a
is
good movie.
The New Guy. Have you ever seen this one, Colton?
Dude, this is your kind of movie.
Yeah, I think you'd probably like this one. It's just
New
that
Guy.
dumb comedy. Uh, DJ Quails is a loser and is pretty much beat up at his other school. Gets his dick broke.
What?
Crazy Eyes.
Gets put in jail for interrupting a choir thing a church thing at the mall, and there was Gene Simmons was the pastor of, and um, runs into Eddie Griffin, who teaches him how to be cool and get crazy eyes. But as much as I love this movie and all the cool shit that's in it, I mean, the cameos in it are just amazing. Tony Hawk's in it. What is it? How do I say it? Sands. Horatio Sands.
Sounds.
Charlie O'Connell, Tommy Lee, Gene Simmons, Cool Mo D. I mean, it's just packed with just tons of cameos throughout it. But the greatest scene, and this might be the greatest scene in cinema
Cinema.
history. Cinema history. The greatest. Elijah Dushku shopping for swimsuits. My favorite scene of that movie. And on the DVD, you can click up to, I think it's chapter 8 or whatever, and it starts right there. It's like maybe it's 12.
We thought Jake Gyllenhaal was a creeping nightcrawler.
Yeah. I think we found a close second, Gunner.
Elijah Dushku could steal my heart.
Okay, I know who that guy is now.
DJ Quails.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty known. I mean, a lot of kind of backup
Side
supporting
characters.
actor stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great movie.
I think he was
Great.
actually. I think he had a little cameo on Breaking Bad. He
That
That
played.
wouldn't surprise me.
He played
Yeah.
a undercover cop, and he was trying to. He was trying to sell. He was selling meth undercover, and that's how we meet Saul Goodman.
Right up.
Nice.
Better
So-
Call Saul.
Yep. I mean that spurred a whole nother man. The Breaking Bad. We could go over that, and that'd be an episode. That's another conversation for another day.
Yeah. Colton, you need to watch The New Guy. I think you'd love it.
It does look like that stupid comedy that I probably would enjoy.
Yeah.
It is that stupid comedy where he's trying to be cool, and he's
Sets
playing with
everything
his
on fire.
lighter, and it burns him, and he throws it over his shoulder. He's like, "Fuck that burn!" And then he sets the statue on fire. Just stupid shit like that throughout the entire movie.
Yeah. He's in a band.
Man, I'm really sorry that I pissed in your tuba. I thought it tasted funny.
Play that funky music, white boy.
A lot of great stuff in that movie.
100%.
But that swimsuit scenes, oh my God. Watch that over and over again.
Obviously,
Apparently.
you have.
Many a times. You looking at my Janet?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right, Colton, what you got?
All right, my number 9, 1998, directed by John Dahl.
No.
It's a Miramax film.
Ooh.
Starts with Mike McDermott, played by Matt Damon, is in for the fight of his life. On one hand, has his girlfriend Jo, played by Gretchen Mol, who gives him stability and drive to finish his schooling for a law degree. But on the other hand, his old gambling buddy, Worm, played by Edward Norton, who can't seem to figure out why bad things just keep happening to him. When Worm gets in deep with the wrong people, Mike is left with a choice: go down the road of least resistance and get his law degree, or take the path that leads him back to his old pal, Teddy KGB, played by none other than John Malkovich. This is a drama / poker-esque movie, and it is Rounders.
Yep.
Have you guys seen Rounders?
Yep.
I have not.
Oh, a very good. I really enjoy this movie. I love Edward Norton's role in it. I felt like they nailed um John Malkovich's character, who is Teddy KGB. Like the main people, they were just phenomenally casted in this movie, and I like a good poker movie. This is that movie. Young Matt Damon. I just realized I must be a big Matt Damon fan just by going by my list here.
Oh, geez. Nice.
So, um, it's yeah. I just really enjoyed this movie. Really fun movie, and it's a kind of a race against the clock type of movie as well. So, um, I always enjoyed that. So, just a really good fun movie. Favorite scene is the final poker scene with uh Teddy KGB and Mike, who is Matt Damon's character, and they play earlier in the movie, and Mike loses to Teddy, and he loses his whole bankroll essentially, and then he turns around at the end of the movie and he catches Teddy's tell, and he's able to win his money back and some at the end of the movie. So, um, yeah, just just a really fun movie. And then, at the end of that movie, he made so much money that he was able to choose the life he wanted to leave.
Mm.
So I think it ends up with him going to like Atlantic City in a taxi, going to
Gamble
like
somewhere else.
going to the World Series of Poker or something like that. So
Yeah, that's a
just
good
just
one.
a just a good. I like that movie. Just high stakes, no puns intended there, but um, just a fun movie.
Yeah, love it. Love it. All right, my number 18, 2008, directed by Peter Cantaneo. Robert Fishman is kicked out of his 80s hair band, and 20 years later, he's recruited by his nephew to be the drummer of the band ADD. This movie stars Rainn Wilson, Emma Stone, Bradley Cooper, Teddy Geiger, Will Arnett, and Josh Gad. It is The Rocker, and it is one of those that you just can watch over and over and over again. Signature scene got to be Naked Drummer. I mean, it's the most iconic scene. It's how the band gets famous and end up opening for Vesuvius. Go back to Cleveland, Cleveland. That's also a
Go
good one.
back to Cleveland,
And
Cleveland.
probably one of my most quoted lines from the movie. But
While I
yep,
was in
just yep, yep. Just good, good. It's obviously set in Cleveland. You get a lot of cool shots like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, just kind of random stuff in the city. And also Jane Lynch is in it too. I didn't mention her, but yeah, she plays the mom, Josh Gad's mom. So that's good cast, great movie, great plot, great story. So yeah, The Rocker.
Nice.
Have you
I
seen
thought it
that
would
one?
be. I've seen it once. I need to see it again. I thought it would be a little bit lower on your list, Gunner.
Oh, we're gonna get real weird here real quick.
Wonderful. All right, Emperor, what you
Yeah.
got?
All right, my number 8 is from the year 1988, directed by Barry Liebenstein. A selfish LA yuppie learns his estranged father left a fortune to his autistic savant brother in Ohio. That's right. It is Rain Man.
Rain Man.
It is Rain Man. Uh, I don't know. I've been going over this one in my head. My there's so many good little pieces in this movie, and there's a lot of things to take away from it. But I do believe that one of my favorite all-time scenes in this movie is when um they're driving across country in that old car, and uh Ray's really into Judge Wapner, and he has to watch Judge Wapner at 4 o'clock, and they end up pulling into this farmhouse along the way, and he's like, "Hey, my brother really needs to watch Wapner." And there's Ray running Wapner in 3 minutes. Wapner definitely Wapner in 3 minutes. Just the intensity of what that was with somebody who has a schedule that he has to keep every day. And of course, the lady's like, well, we're watching cartoons. And next thing you know, he's sitting there watching Wapner because he wouldn't let it go. But um, this movie, I've seen it 100 times. I've watched it over and over again. But it's most important to me because this movie was me and Bobby's first date. We went and seen this movie together. It was our very first date. So, um, yeah, that was in 1988.
Was that at the drive-in?
It was at the drive. No, it was actually down at the Lake Theater, I do believe. You know, the one we were talking about earlier today, the one that's now a Zimmer Hotel or whatever, but
Mhm.
I do believe that's where it was at.
I
Nice.
wasn't alive.
But yeah,
But
that's my number eight.
Skylar's older than me, right, Logan?
Yeah, there you go. I'm not even sure. I did know that. I knew you were older than Skylar.
He's older than Logan too.
I'm older than Logan.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Rain Man starring Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise, baby.
Good movie. Good movie.
Cruise. Yes.
Good movie. Okay, my number 8 movie. Ooh, here we go. In 1959.
I was not alive in 1959.
Let us know at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com if you were alive when this movie came out.
59.
Howard Hawks is the director, a Warner Brothers movie. When the trash needs taken out in the Wild West, there's only one man enough for the job, and that's Sheriff John Chance, played by none other than John Wayne. He is the
John
man
Wayne.
for the job. When local gunslinger Joe Burdett, played by Claude Akins, takes the life of another man, it was up to John to uphold the law and bring him to justice. He enrolls help from the old deputy, now turned town drunk dude, played by Dean Martin, the elderly deputy Stumpy, played by Walter Brennan. You can laugh.
Stumpy.
Yep.
Stumpy.
He's got some really good one-liners in that whole movie. And then babyface gunslinger Colorado, played by Ricky Nelson, and the love interest is named Feathers, played by Angie Dickinson, as help until the marshal arrives. This is none other than the great Western Rio Bravo.
Rio Bravo.
My favorite. It's so hard. I grew up with John Wayne movies. These are movies I watch with my dad all the time. I don't think that there's a John Wayne movie I haven't seen, and there are some old ones out there where they're not even westerns.
Mhm.
I think a lot of people just know him as a Western actor, but he did a lot more than just Western and war movies, so to speak. So yeah, it really tough. I wanted to have at least one John Wayne movie on this list, and it was really, really tough to pick just one. But this is my favorite. One of my favorite scenes is the final gun battle scene where Stumpy is an integral part of it, and he is throwing dynamite at this house, and they are trying to shoot this dynamite that gets closer to the house, and you could tell it's just 1950s special effects for it. Um, one of the beauties of John Wayne is that you don't see blood when somebody gets shot until there's like a close up scene.
Just fall over. Just keel
Yep.
over.
Yep, and they're on the ground and then they're holding their stomach and it's just it's funny. But then my other favorite scene is when Dude and Chance are chasing down a guy and he runs into this bar and Dude is still known as the town drunk who became a drunk because a girl left him, and he's been drinking his sorrows ever since. And he walks into the bar through the front door and he catches the bad guy and gains the respect of the bad guys in town. So that really just kind of forwards his character through this movie to being more positive about his outcome on life. And I thought that was a really good scene when I rewatched it this week. But yeah, just like I said, had to have a Western in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Frankie I think Frankie nailed me on a previous golden 80s episode about how many westerns I'd have, and I was like, I'm gonna have at least one. So
Just the one.
yeah, Rio Bravo, 1959, great
You
movie.
you talk a lot about watching the old John Wayne movies with your dad and how that was a really important, a part of your life. And I think that's why he really kind of zoned in on it. I know he was kind of jabbing at you a little bit because that's what he loves to do, but um if you were to fill your top 10 list with John Wayne movies, I don't think anybody'd fault you because that was really important to you growing up. And I mean,
Oh
totally
yeah,
can see that. Yeah.
yeah, but like I said, I can, we could go through, and the biggest trivia question I ask people if they say they're John Wayne fans is, you got to tell me what movies he died in,
Oh.
because that man, he's like the Rock before the Rock. Like, John Wayne don't
Doesn't
die in movies.
there
So, um, yeah, I believe there's 7 movies he's died in. So,
I'll have to remember that next time we do trivia somewhere.
there you go. I
hey,
have to see if I
I'm telling
zone
you,
in on it.
you want me on, you want to call me real quick? I'll tell you.
I have to phone a friend. Hold on.
Yeah.
I sad to say I don't know that I've seen clippets, but I don't know that I've ever sat down and watched a full John Wayne movie.
Mhm.
It just never hit as a thing for me, but I know that people love him. I saw a poster today in the maintenance shop at the hospital. It just says the Duke, and there's a picture of it.
Yep.
Pretty.
Everybody knows him as the Duke. There's a great scene where where Dean Martin and Ricky Nelson sing a duet of a song, "My Rifle, My Pony, and Me."
Hmm.
Great song, and just get that scene with those two actors, and
Right.
really what their background is music. That was really cool. Um, so yeah, just this movie is great. Just love this movie.
Rio Bravo.
Rio Bravo.
Right on.
Nice. Nice. All right. My number 17 came out in 2010, directed by David Fincher, and it follows a Harvard undergrad who creates a website to rate girls on campus, which eventually turns
Oh my
into
gosh.
a quote unquote stolen idea into Facebook. The movie is The Social Network, a movie for some reason I always go back to. I always watch Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, Justin Timberlake, and gosh, some bunch of others that don't really matter because they're hardly in the movie. Um, definitely follows just the three of them through the whole thing. Um, really is just to me highly rewatchable. I've always enjoyed it. It came out right around that time where, Facebook was just huge. Still to this day, I think most people scrolling their phones are probably on Facebook besides Colton, who doesn't use Facebook. But um, favorite scene, honestly, I love that it's all flashbacks, but I enjoy all of the present stuff that's happening with the lawyers and him and Andrew Garfield back and forth, just jabbing each other. And really, you can just tell that Zuckerberg doesn't care. He's all about what he's come up with and what he's created, and he's part of the business, and he doesn't really care that he's getting sued for whatever. And yeah, I don't know, just always enjoyed the Social Network. Colton does not agree.
No, man, I don't get your love for this movie. I really
I love it,
don't.
man. I love it.
I just, yeah, we will we will go to grips over this
I will
movie.
die on this hill.
I will let you die on this hill.
Okay.
I will not try to save you.
I'm planting that flag and putting it on the drop down menu.
Yes.
What what was the name of the girl? Was it Erica Albright? Is that the girl that broke up with him at the beginning of the movie? Eric with Erica, is why he created that.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Because I knew that I'd run across this in the past, and I'm trying to remember, and that's exactly what it was. Yeah. So that girl is played by um, Rondi Mara, and she was the girl in the lead with your guy. Um,
My God.
Daniel Craig in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
I was one of those things that I ran across by accident. You know what I'm saying? It was like, no shit, that's the same girl. And I did a deep dive on it,
I
roll through
never
all
picked
that.
that
But
one out.
no, absolutely not. It was really weird that I had run across it. But yeah, now there's a trippy ass movie. If you ever get a chance to watch that one? Ugh. No, I love The Social Network though. I thought it was a great movie. I don't know how much of it was actual real
It's
about
not.
what happened at that
Most
time,
of
but
it's not.
but it was just fun to think that it was.
I just think some of the names were real.
Exactly.
Right.
And
There
Zuckerberg
was
is
a
a
there was
douche.
a
So
lawsuit.
There was a lawsuit, and Andrew Garfield fed chicken to his chicken.
yes, he did. Too good.
I don't know.
There you
I
go.
think it's a
Social
good
network.
one. I think that's a good one, Gunner.
Thanks.
All right. My number seven is a 1987 movie directed by one of the greats, Rob Reiner. A bedridden boy's grandfather reads him a story of a farm boy turned pirate who encounters numerous obstacles, enemies, and allies in his quest to reunite with his true love. That's right. It is The Princess Bride. I mean, come on. This movie has everything.
It does.
Yeah. Um, Mandy Patinkin, Andre the Giant, Fred Savage, Peter Falk.
Fred Savage.
I always get his name wrong. Carrie, how do you pronounce his last name? Els? L?
I don't know.
I don't, I always pronounce his name wrong, but I mean, come on. This movie is wonderful. I think my favorite scene is the final sword battle between and
Inigo.
Antigo.
thank
Inigo.
you.
Inigo.
Inigo.
Inigo Montoya.
I think that's just my favorite scene. I think you finally see him get justice for something he had searched for so long, and you kind of rooted for him throughout the entire movie, even though he was like a quote unquote a bad guy, for stealing the princess and all that stuff. But yeah, I think that was my favorite scene. But what a great movie! Always been one of my favorites since I've seen it many, many, many years ago, and I think I'm pretty much made Gunner watch it for the first time. So
Actually, no. Sarah made me watch it for the first time.
Oh yeah.
really,
Yep.
you
Yep.
didn't
That
watch it when you
was.
were growing up?
I didn't. I don't ever
Oh,
remember watching it growing up. When Sarah and I first started dating, she had said that The Princess Bride is one of her favorite movies of all time. And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen it. We watched it. I was like, I have definitely never seen this movie.
oh,
Enjoyed
okay.
every minute of it. And it's definitely one of my favorite movies.
All right, fair. I made him watch a lot of Power Rangers shit, I'm sure.
I don't remember that either. I remember watching Mighty Morphin
Oh
and
gosh.
Turbo.
So there you go. That's my number seven, The Princess Bride.
Nice.
Nice. Colton.
Nice. Okay, my number seven is a 1961 flick.
Wow, wasn't born then either.
Directed by Robert Rawson, 20th Century Fox film. This black and white movie is about an up and coming pool hustler named Fast Eddie Nelson, played by Paul Newman, in his quest to beat the famous Minnesota Fats, Jackie Gleason. When Eddie loses to Fats, he goes on a journey to better himself any way that he can, and he finds a professional handler in Burt Gordon, played by George C. Scott, and falls in love with Sarah Packard, played by Piper Laurie. All roads lead back to Minnesota Fats, but what does Eddie leave with this time? Money, fame, love, all of it, or none of it? That is a movie based out of a book. It is called The Hustler. Um, this story got me hooked. I love this story from beginning to end. I think it's just fantastic. My favorite all time black and white movie. Um, just a great story. It's got Paul Newman, Jackie Gleason, one of the most serious roles Gleason ever played, ever in his acting career, because he was always the funny guy. He ain't a funny guy in this movie. um, and one of the things that I found interesting is that they both wanted to be really good pool players, so they wanted to like look the part in their shots, but they couldn't hit the shots. So a lot of the pool shots they had like real pool players come in and actually take the shots. If it's not of like if it's like a close up of the pool table and it's just a hand shot, most of those shots were actually professional pool players. But there were some scenes that they would actually. Paul Newman's got a scene where he goes through and he kind of goes on a little bit of a run, and that was him doing it, and that was pretty cool. Um, Knowing that. Favorite scene though is when Eddie and Minnesota meet up at the end, and Eddie takes him. Um, Eddie takes him, but the real thing here is that Eddie tells Bert off because Bert pushes Eddie the whole time about what it takes to be a good hustler, a pool hustler, and he just goes on this rant and he tells him off, and he just tells him at the end, if you come after me, you better kill me because I'm going to come back and I'm going to get you. And that's how the movie ends. It was just, man, just a great, is a great way to end a movie like this, because it was tense the whole time. And then everything that he lost, he said it wasn't worth it essentially for all this money I just won you. And which I thought, man, great premise to the movie. Great premise. So
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it out there, highly recommend. Give it at least a once over. Like I said, it's a 1961 film. There are some questionable scenes in there, so um, still a great movie nonetheless. So really recommend at least a once over on it.
Yeah.
And it is black and white, so everybody don't just. It's okay.
They ever remaster it in color?
No, I don't think they ever did.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'd want to watch it if it was in color.
Yeah. What was the newer one that's similar?
So the fun fact is that this movie is actually, there is a sequel to this movie made 30 years later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it stars Paul Newman and
Tom Cruise.
That's right. Tom Cruise. And that scene, my favorite scene there is when Tom Cruise is found by Eddie Nelson in a pool hall, and what Tom Cruise is doing, and he's just acting like a fool in a pool hall and just absolutely, raking it in. So that's another really good movie. And it's almost the same dang near plot.
Yeah.
Except for the ending is much worse. I will fight that till the cows come home. That is a terrible way to end a movie. So
I have not seen that. The Color of Money is the name of the movie.
Okay.
Oh, did I say I didn't say
Yeah.
that? Okay.
No, we were just talking about
It's The Color of Money.
The Color of Money. I have not seen. I've only seen that movie one time. I did enjoy it, but I never went back and rewatched it. But the Eric Clapton signature song in that, it's in the way that you use it. I mean, just as you sing that when I sing it when I'm playing pool, I just dance around swinging the pool stick around like Tom Cruise
Like
did.
Tom Cruise was.
Yep. But it's been a long time since I've seen that one. But I've never seen the original Hustler. I've never seen that one.
Great movie. I would say it's at least worth a one over.
Right on.
One over.
Just a one over.
Nice. Good choice. All right. Number 16 for me, 2010, directed by David Russell. This movie follows the redemption story of Mickey Ward. Boxing is his family's affair, and that ends up splitting the family's trust after Mickey nearly dies. Once he takes his girlfriend's advice, he trains to become a contender in the world boxing title. Starring Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, and Amy Adams. This is The Fighter. Emperor, you ever seen The Fighter?
I am not. I'm actually surprised this is on your list. I didn't realize it just is something that it was your go-to for your top 20.
I've seen this one probably 10 to 15 times. Um, this falls right in between the time where Christian Bale was the first Batman,
Hmm.
Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight, and to see his transformation as an actor, going from having to be bulked up and muscular to pretty much drug addict, skinny twig
Right.
He won an
absolutely
award.
insane.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
I really, I enjoy it as just I would almost say a sports movie, but I mean, it's more of a family drama in a
Right.
sense. But, um, yeah, favorite scene, Christian Bale, his character is Dickie, is reenact. He was a boxer formerly, but he is reenacting one of his fights, or I can't remember if it's his fight or somebody else's fight, but he's reenacting it, and then doing drugs and all this stuff. And then they're like, don't you know you're supposed to be training Mickey right now? So then he runs through town pretty much. And you get to kind of see everybody that knows him because of his family and the boxing stuff. And you just see him, and then he gets to the gym, and there's a whole other thing after that. But yeah, it's a really enjoyable movie. I'm, like I said, seen it many times and just love it.
Right on.
You've never seen that one?
No, I've never seen that one.
I think you'd
Colton, you
enjoy
seen
it
that one?
Oh yeah. Good
Yeah.
movie. Good movie. It's another tearjerker because of
for
I
sure.
just think Christian Bale's character really sells you on the movie itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. I know of the movie, and I know of all the statistics that went around it with Bale losing all that weight and I mean, getting basically making himself sick. I mean, in real life to drop all that weight and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know if it was because um I didn't watch it because it was like you kind of can know that you kind of get that feeling that it's one of those movies that is going to end tragically, and you don't want to necessarily go through all of that with him. But um, kind of like The Wrestler was. If you ever guys ever seen The Wrestler with
Mickey
Mickey
Rourke.
Rourke, you know, just you know it's going to end in tragedy. But I don't know if the fighter did or not. I just by watching the trailers and stuff like that, I always just kind of figured it ended badly. But I don't know if it did or not. You don't have to give out that spoiler for
You
those
need to
who
watch it.
haven't seen it, but I need to watch it. I get a fucking long list of
Yeah,
shit I
why
need
don't
to
you? Are
watch.
you writing all this stuff down?
I need to write a list of all the
You
things
know,
I
watch
need
The
to watch.
Hustler and oh crap, I already forgot the name of the Western. Something Bravo.
Rio Bravo.
Rio Bravo.
Rio Bravo. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm glad that the fighter's on there. I mean, you're talking about some great actors in there. Amy Adams and Mark Wahlberg. And
Mm-hmm.
definitely
It's a good cast. A really
yeah.
good cast.
Hmm. All right. Well, how about my number 6?
Let's hear it.
This is a 2008 movie directed by none other than John Favreau.
Mm.
After being held captured in an Afghani war camp, billionaire engineer Tony Stark creates a unique weaponized suit of armor to fight evil. That's right. The movie stars Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Jeff Bridges, and probably the best roadie, Terrence Howard.
I don't think I've ever seen this movie.
Never seen
Yeah,
the
what's
movie.
this? I don't think I've seen this movie either.
Well, I
All
think
these
it's behind you.
superstars. Yeah, it might be all over the place in here. That's right. It is Iron Man. My favorite scene is that opening when he was out there putting together the Jericho and just that explosion with the way they did the CG and how it all blew straight into him.
Ladies
And
and
then
gentlemen.
he walks over to that cart and a fucking a whiskey or a bourbon shoots up and he's you know, for every 10 million sold, you want to throw in one of these, just type shit. So, uh, I was skeptical when I heard that Marvel was going to kind of reboot their whole thing with Iron Man. I was like, who the fuck uses Iron Man? Iron Man's kind of a B character, and in my mind. And so I went and seen it, and absolutely fell in love with Iron Man at that point, and been a big fan ever since. So I thought Robert Downey Jr. I mean, you talk about a comeback story. I mean, the man
Saved his life.
yeah, did bad things along the way. And I grew up with Robert Downey, in a lot of those movies coming up, where he was either the lead or even the co-lead in some of those movies. But um, big fan of Robert for a long, long time. So I was so happy to see that he turned himself around and to do what he's doing now uh, with the success of Iron Man in the Marvel universe and what he's doing outside of the film world, whether he's using Iron Man to take robotic arms to children who lost their arm or it's whatever the case may be. And I'm just happy for him. So yeah, Iron Man number 6.
Nice. Nice, nice.
It's a good one. It's a very good one.
Oh yeah. Okay, so my number 6 is a 1995 film directed by Martin Campbell, and it's an MGM film. My name is Bond, James Bond, and he is back. This MI5 agent, MI6. Oh geez, wrote that wrong down. MI6. This agent, Pierce Brosnan, is back and is trying to save the world from a deadly satellite, GoldenEye, that's ended up in the hands of a Russian group called Janus. Bond will need every single one of his gadgets and charm to be able to disable GoldenEye. As always, this is GoldenEye. This is the first Bond movie I saw growing up. I remember watching it with my dad and my uncle because my uncle is a huge James Bond fan. He kind of gave me that love for James Bond films because then after this movie, he made me watch like From Russia with Love, The Man with the Golden Gun. You Live and Let Die was the big one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just those kinds of movies is what we just started watching all the time. And so, and my favorite is obvious the opening scene. All the explosions, all the gunfire, just a great action scene to start it off, and then the bungee jump off the top, and then you really tie it all together with the N64 and GoldenEye, man. Like this movie is so dang like iconic for that reason.
Yeah.
And just a great movie to watch. And the video game is fun and everything happened. And this was all in my childhood too. So seeing that in the video game and like everything just tying together just like makes it nostalgic, blah, blah, blah.
Words are
Very
hard.
nostalgic. Yeah, they are. Just makes
Nostalgic.
just makes it so that it's that. So GoldenEye had to be on the list.
Nice.
So who is your favorite? Who is your favorite Bond? Is it
We already
Pierce?
talked about this.
Yeah,
did.
no,
I missed it.
my favorite Bond is Daniel Craig.
Craig.
Okay.
I like that portrayal of James Bond the best.
And he was Bond for what? Almost 20 years?
Well, as long as it took him to make movies, yeah.
Well, that's true. I mean, they did have a lot more in between downtimes, didn't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation on who the next Bond is going to be, and I just don't know who it's going to be. I'm personally of the belief it just needs to be a male British actor. That's it. Don't care. After that, I think those are the two things you got to have for it.
Wasn't there talk of a woman Bond?
Yeah, kind of in the last couple of movies, they really leaned heavily into the idea that James Bond is a agent name. It's an alias that can be given to anybody.
Right on.
Um, so
I like Bond movies, but I haven't watched a ton of them. I mean, Live and Let Die.
Diamonds Are Forever.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I'm trying to think of the ones I have seen, but I like Daniel Craig. I thought Daniel Craig did a great job. I was really excited when Pierce Brosnan took on the role, but I think I was a little disappointed in his Bond. After all the great ones before him with Sean Connery and Roger Moore, and I know Roger Moore's not like a fan
What?
favorite, but
Roger Moore sucks.
I know he's not a fan favorite, and that's okay. But I didn't think he did too bad. I mean, he was when I kind of got into it. Roger Moore was James Bond at that time, so
That's a shame.
I know.
Have
Sorry you
you
had to do that.
I like his counterpart a lot more. Austin Powers. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
wanna check now or check later? All right. Before
Uh,
I get into my number 15, here is a message from our affiliate, Perfectly Picked Games.
Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
All right. Thank you, Jake, and Perfectly Picked Games. Always remember, go check out perfectlypickedgames.com. Use code GoldenMojo at checkout and get your 20% off of your subscription. I'd like to hear from him.
I can't tell Jake thank you enough for being a part of Golden Mojo Entertainment.
Yeah.
I love that we're partnered with them, and hopefully things are going well for him over there. I have not talked to him in a hot minute, so hopefully everything's going well, and we look forward to meeting up with him again
Oh, yeah.
for the roast of Colton Keel.
The roast of Colton Keel.
So
All right.
excited for that.
Yeah. We've got 5 more movies, guys. We're flying along here.
Flying.
Flying. So my number 15 came out in 2015, directed by Tom McCarthy, starring Michael Keaton, Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams, Liev Schreiber, and Stanley Tucci. And this is based on the true story of how the Boston Globe went under the Catholic Church and found all the bad stuff that was happening in the Catholic Church. This movie is called Spotlight, and I'm telling you right now, if I had to rate this movie, this is a 9.8 out of 10. This is a perfectly shot, perfectly acted. It's got great settings. It's got great actors, great characters. It's just a phenomenal movie all around. I can't pick a scene. It's just so good. Has anybody seen this movie?
No, I didn't even know it existed.
I've seen it once and I just get mad.
Understandable.
Just get mad.
It is seriously just such a good movie though, all around. Emperor added to the list.
Add it to the list. At
Great
any
cast.
point, do they tell Rachel McAdams to get to the kitchen and make me a sandwich? Just checking. Just checking.
No. No, and the crazy part to me is this team at the Boston Globe is I can't remember what they call the team, but it's such a small group of people, and it's pretty much all those people I listed, but the way that they work and the way they work together, and it's incredible. So yeah, Spotlight.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. My number 5 is a movie from 1989, directed by Stephen Herrick. 2 rock and roll teens on the verge of failing their class set out on a quest to make the ultimate school history report after being presented with a time machine. Be excellent to each other. That's right. Number 5, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Man, I had a tough time coming up with my favorite scene from this movie because
Number 5. Wow.
yeah, my list gets a little stranger as we daunt up here a little bit, but yeah, I love this movie, and for me to make a top 10 list was really, really, really tough. But
History report all day.
yeah,
It's so good.
It is.
you're you're talking about the ending.
Yeah, it's such a
Yeah.
good, so good.
Yeah, that's what I got. Is I got either the mall scene when everybody kind of goes nuts, and you got
Genghis
extreme
Khan.
playing in the background, and yeah, Genghis Khan is knocking the mannequin head off with the baseball bat, but yeah, the final exam was really, really great, and I mean, come on, you get Keanu Reeves and you get Alex Winter, you get George Carlin, for God's sake, George Carlin. I mean, you can't go wrong with this movie.
Rufus.
Rufus.
Rufus. I just had to do it. You guys did it.
Hey,
Amazing movie. I mean, we've talked about this movie a million times, and the Golden 80s will cover this movie eventually in year two. So we'll dive deep into it when we do that. So
Golden
love this.
J.
Yeah.
Don't forget to wind your watch.
Oh,
Don't forget to wind your watch.
you
Um,
have to dial one number higher.
also, it makes the phone noise. Water loops also great scene with Napoleon. So good.
Piggy wiggy, piggy
Oh
wiggy.
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
What
So
a
great.
great choice.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm sorry that it's at number five. I'm sorry you're disappointed that I put it at number five, but
I thought it would be like top 3 for you.
yeah, man. I'm looking over my top three and I'm still feeling pretty good about it. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
It's your list.
Yeah. So there you go. Number five, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Nice.
So good. So good.
So good.
All right. My number 5 is a 2006 film directed
Ooh.
by Christopher Nolan. Touchstone movie. Imagine if you could, you're in London, late 1800s. You and a colleague go and see a magic show that changes the course of your career. Well, that's exactly what happened to Robert Angier, played by Hugh Jackman, and Alfred Borden, played by Christian Bale. Two up and coming magicians who have the same goal but have completely different ways of achieving that. Is there enough room for both of them at the top? This movie is a mystery drama, magic movie, whatever you want to call it. I like to think of it as a mystery drama. It is The Prestige.
Nice.
Have you guys seen it?
No.
We have very young Scarlett Johansson in it.
Sold.
Yep. Yep. It's a great movie. I love the ending. It's fantastic. Everything about this movie is just phenomenal. And my favorite scene is actually the very ending. And since you guys haven't seen it, I'm just gonna give you the quote, the very last quote of the movie, and he goes, one of the character goes, "You just never understood why we did this. The audience knows the truth. The world is simple and miserable, solid all the way through. But if you could fool them, even for a second, then you could make them wonder, and then you get to see something very special. You really don't know. It was the look in their eyes. Just man, goosebumps. It's a great movie. Definitely need to watch it at least once.
Yeah.
I definitely watch this movie, and it's a young. I think this is one of Chris personally. I know he's did some other movies, but this was like his first like to me his first big hit.
You say 2006?
Yeah,
Nice.
so definitely give it a watch.
It's on. I wrote it down.
Definitely a good Christopher Nolan-esque movie. So that is my number 5. That is The Prestige.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. My number 14, directed by Christopher Nolan. 2008 though.
Okay.
And just by the year what this movie is, and the plot is very simple. The Joker brings chaos to Gotham City, and Batman has to stop him. It is the Dark Knight. love Batman Begins, but man, Heath Ledger, Christian Bale, Gary Oldman, Aaron Eckhart, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, just one of the greatest movies that I've ever seen. And it's just so fun to watch. And even though it's like, what, 2 hours and 45 minutes, you still sit through the whole thing and enjoy the whole thing. Signature scene, 100%, the opening. The
Oh,
the
that bank
Joker, yeah,
heist.
the bank heist with the clown masks and just
Explaining about
the
getting rid of every
yes,
character who's integral to.
so good.
Yes.
No, I killed the bus driver.
I killed
Yeah. And man, Heath Ledger, just nobody will
man.
ever be that Joker.
Man, can you
Impossible.
imagine what movies he would have done?
Oh yeah.
Like that is I've been like trying to figure that out and wonder like what movies that would have been him for.
Imagine they bring him into like the Flash, the newest Flash movie that came out. He shows
Oh
up and
gosh.
does
Even
something
he couldn't save
crazy.
that movie.
He probably would have saved that movie. No, so good. Deception, the Joker, and yeah, the way that he plays the field with Two Face, with
Mm-hmm.
Batman, with Rachel, and yeah, so good.
Where's Rachel?
You don't want to hit him in the head before you get your. Anyway,
Do you want to see a magic trick?
Heath Ledger. I was super excited when I found out that Heath Ledger was going to play the Joker because I had already known of him from 10 Things to Hate About You,
Mm-hmm.
um, Monsters Ball, um, Knight's Tale, obviously. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm running all through these movies in my head. I mean, the guy was an amazing actor, and he was so good at becoming his character. And unfortunately, he was too good at it, um, to become the Joker and to kind of take on that persona. And I don't know, man. It's what a waste of a great talent. And he definitely, I think he's one of there's many, but I mean he's one of the many that are definitely missed in Hollywood who could have went on and been amazing in just anything he did. I personally never seen Brokeback Mountain. I hear he was amazing in that. I hear that both him and Jake Gyllenhaal were amazing actors in that. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm not really a cowboy kind of guy, so I never went and saw it. But um,
Not a
it
cowboy
just
kind of guy.
it's not a cowboy kind of guy. Not really into cowboy movies. So I wasn't a Western kind of guy. So never seen that movie, but I heard he was amazing in that too. But yeah, it's too bad we lost him so early on in his
It
career.
is.
But yeah, you know, I am a huge fan of Jack Nicholson playing the Joker because that was my Batman. When I was growing up, like I said, I we went to the theater 20 times to see the Michael Keaton Batman. Um, but yeah, I think this is still probably that is probably the best. That is probably the best Batman movie of all of them that have been put out,
Yeah.
as far as, in a whole storyline, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, that's a good pick, Gunner. It's a real good pick.
The trilogy as a whole, despite
Absolutely.
parts of three that aren't great, but yeah, love it.
It seemed like there was a lot of downtime in three where it just didn't, it seemed like it drug on. We could have cut it up a little bit and dropped out some of that shit, but
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go. Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, number 14.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my number four is a 2013 movie directed by John Carney. A chance encounter between a down and out musical business executive and a young singer-songwriter new to Manhattan turns into a promising collaboration between the two talents. This movie stars Keira Knightley, Mark Ruffalo, and Adam Levine. Oh, and Haley Steinfeld.
Steinfeld.
Steinfeld. That's what I
Steinfeld.
meant to say.
Yeah,
That's what
Stein.
that's what I meant to say. This movie is called Begin Again. Uh, I absolutely fell in love with this movie the first time I seen it. Probably because I'm a musician and I love the avenue they took about recording her album in the streets. And, all of these musicians just kind of jump on board with her, even though they're both completely broke and have no money. And they've made a mobile recording studio out of a Jaguar.
Oh, James
It's
Corden.
James Corden. Yeah, his name is on the list. Um, oh, and hold on, CeeLo Green, is it
Yep,
CeeLo
yep.
Green?
See those in it.
CeeLo's in there. Just an amazing movie. I think they did great stuff with this movie. It's nothing important. The movie is nothing important. You know what I mean? It's not like some big blockbuster hit that, everybody had to go see and everybody loved. It was just kind of an under the wire kind of movie, and yeah, I loved it. I love this movie. So if you ever get a chance to go see it, go check it out. I made Bobby and Sarah watch it the other night when we were at Gunners. And they
Enjoyed
both,
every minute.
yeah, I enjoyed every minute. Bobby actually said she enjoyed it, so she didn't hate it, which I thought by the time it was done she would hate it, but said this movie's not for everybody.
It's also rated R. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that. Why would it be rated R for the
Probably,
language?
yeah, language.
Alcohol abuse?
Yep.
It's interesting because, we talk about Mark Ruffalo and, you had a Mark Ruffalo movie a little bit ago.
Spotlight.
Kathleen Keener actually plays his estranged wife or ex-wife, or I don't know. They never really did they get
I don't think
divorced?
they never got divorced. No.
Yeah. But we talked about the Adam Project.
Mhm.
Um, and she is the evil one against Mark Ruffalo and Ryan Reynolds in that movie, which I thought was really kind of one of those really cool kind of,
Yeah.
you know, connections or whatever. But yeah, great movie. My number 4, Begin Again. I'd proudly put that poster on my wall.
Yeah.
Keira Knightley's smoking hot too. So, I mean, come on. She's fun to watch in the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you remind me so much of somebody I know who likes his movies are comedies and anything with full frontal nudity.
Absolutely. I mean, if you can see some of your favorite actresses, topless, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you? That's why I watched. I think it was was it The Gift with Katie Holmes who dropped her top? I think it was The Gift. I had to watch that.
I'll tell you the one is the one with Jennifer Lawrence where she's
Yeah,
dating and like she's one of those actresses you've never thought you would see full
absolutely.
nude on camera, and there she is.
Yep.
It's like, oh hey, there's Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, it wasn't what you expect.
Yeah.
The floppy floppy.
Colton,
Oh my.
number 4.
Okay. Number 4. 1997 film directed by Gus Van Sant, a Miramax film. Do you guys like apples? Well, I got her number. Yes, ladies and gents, this classic starring Matt Damon as Will, Ben Affleck as Chucky, Stellan Skarsgård as Lambo, and Robin Williams as Sean. Will is a genius who is living a simple life with his friend Chucky when Lambo discovers him, and he instantly has bigger and better plans for Will. After he brush up with the law, Will is court ordered to see a therapist and meets Sean. Will is challenged in ways he believed he had shut off, but learns more than he could have ever bargained for. That's right, folks. This is none other than Good Will Hunting. A wonderful movie from start to finish. I believe this is Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's first movie they wrote.
I think so. Sounds right.
So just a great movie there. That's just a fun little tidbit. Obviously, the great line of "Do you like apples?" is an all-time line.
Slaps it on the window.
He doesn't. He slams that thing on the window. Well, I got a number. How about them apples?
And he's got the Boston accent.
Oh, heavy Boston accent. Yes, loved it. But my favorite all-time scene is actually a scene with Sean when they're doing therapy, and Sean is going through everything that he's talking about meeting his wife, about how he gave up those baseball tickets for the those Red Sox baseball tickets to go meet his wife, and he's talking about. He says that's why I'm not talking to right now about the some girl I saw at a bar 20 years ago anyways, and I always regretted not going over there and talking to her. I don't regret the 18 years I was married to her. I don't regret the 6 years I had to give up counseling when she got sick. I don't regret the last years when she got really sick, and I sure as hell don't regret missing the damn game. That's regret. Like, that scene is heavy and deep for anybody who's been through anything big and heavy like that. Um, man, just really hits you in the feels like none other.
Yep.
And I love that scene because it's Robin. I mean, it's Rob, the great Robin Williams plays this scene fantastically. Because then Will, being Will, still goes, would have been nice to catch the game though. And Robin Williams goes, I didn't know Pudge was going to hit a homer. Like, how they're able to take that scene so seriously and then,
Flip it on its side.
yes. And then Robin Williams is just in the most Robin Williams way ever, flip it to a great one liner. Like, man, that scene, I just love that. I love that scene. And that movie is just riddled with deep scenes all over.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you haven't seen this, you probably live under a rock. This movie has so many things that's quoted, and just a wonderful movie altogether. And that is Good Will Hunting.
Great movie. I didn't realize you were such a Miramax guy there, Colton.
I actually put that in there just for fun, and I'm starting to realize, holy crap, there's a lot of Miramax films on here.
I love Miramax movies wise. Obviously there's too much stuff that happened with Miramax as a whole, but yeah, there's some good movies out there.
Oh yeah. And I'm starting to realize a lot of my favorite movies are.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna try to beat Colton on the oldest movie on the list.
Oh,
I'm
really?
gonna beat him by a couple of years here.
Are you?
I am, yes, I am.
What was that? Rio Bravo was 59.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. 1954.
Okay.
Directed by Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, okay.
Starring Jimmy Stewart, Grace Kelly, Raymond Burr, and Thelma Ritter. This movie is the story of a recuperating news photographer who believes that he has witnessed a murder from his apartment window. He spends his days watching his neighbors through his window with binoculars and becomes convinced that he has witnessed a murder take place. This is Rear Window, which spawned a Shia LaBeouf movie back
Disturbia.
Yes, Disturbia.
Mid-2000s.
Yep, definitely the same concept of a movie, but this is just a great movie. I enjoy. I can't remember the first time I saw it, or even why I watched it. It just came across, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch this," and watched it a bunch of times since then. Enjoy it every time. Signature scene, is when his girlfriend slash fiance sneaks over into the apartment across the way, and is searching to see if maybe Jimmy Stewart's character is telling the truth. And while she's in there, in comes the murderer, and she has to hide from him, and eventually does not get caught right away. But yes, great movie. If you want to go back and watch a good Jimmy Stewart film.
What year was that again?
54.
Oh. Do you suppose that the castle episode that they did when he had the quote unquote
Yes.
broken leg was that based on that?
Yep. Yep.
Right on.
Yep. It's definitely one of those like you get that plot and it's an easy one to alter and recreate.
Right.
The Disturbia being the biggest one that's done it, which is also a pretty good movie too. I enjoy Disturbia. They
Yeah,
they do
Disturbia
they
was
do yeah, they do house arrest in that one,
right.
not injured, but
Right.
yeah. So my number 13 is Rear Window.
All right. Hmm. Okay. Before I give you my number three, I just want to say that I forgot to give you my favorite scenes in Begin Again, by the way. I
Oh,
got to talking about shit and just real quick, I think probably my favorite scene is that opening when Ruffalo's character sees her playing and then he starts seeing the instruments play.
Yeah.
Um, there's quote unquote nobody playing them. They're just playing by themselves. And I know that feeling as a producer, a guy who's produced music and other bands and stuff, and how that works in your brain. You hear things or you see things, and I thought that was just an amazing piece. Anyway, so sorry, as when Colton started his, like, oh my God, I forgot to give my signature scene. Yeah, damn it. Get to go talking about Keira Knightley. I get confused. Anyways, my number three is a 1999 movie directed by Brian Robbins. A backup quarterback is chosen to lead a Texas football team to victory after the star quarterback is injured. That's right. This movie stars James Vanderbeek, John Boyd, Paul Walker, Ron Lester, and Scott Kane. It is Varsity Blues. I love this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen this thing so many times I can quote it. Yeah. Give me a 10. I give it a 10.
10.
10, a fucking 10. Um, but however, my favorite scene in this movie is when Tweeter is talking, and I got the quote right here. Hold on. Um, uh, Tweeter's like, listen to me. Bitches are just panty droppers. You understand? Mox is like, what? He goes, listen, you give them a Percocet, two Vicodin, and a couple of beers, and the panties just drop. It's nice. That has
Waiter,
to be one of my all-time favorite scenes because he's looking down his pants going, what the hell is that?
waiter drank beer.
Because Tweeter drinks beer. Billy Bob cries. Well, because Billy Bob cries. I have a friend, and I ran into him the other day. We have called him Billy Bob for as long as I can remember. He is he's a big boy, and I love him. But we would just back and forth. I'd be Mox, he was Billy Bob, and we would just quote this movie nonstop all the time. But yeah, my number three, 1999. Varsity Blues. Brian Robbins, you might remember him from Head of the Class. Went on to do a bunch of Nickelodeon stuff apparently after that. So, but yeah, Brian Robbins was a director. So there you go, number three, Varsity Blues.
Yeah, almost made my list.
Did it almost?
Almost.
Nice.
Nice. Nice. All right. My number three, 1998 Steven Spielberg movie. DreamWorks, June 6, 1944. We follow a team led by Captain Miller, Tom Hanks, Sergeant Horvath, played by Tom Sizemore, joined by Private Ryben, Edward Burns, not Ben Affleck, Jake. Thank you. Private Jackson, played by Barry Pepper, Private Milish, Adam Goldberg, Private Caparzo, the great Vin Diesel. The Wade, who is the medic in that group, was played by Giovanni Ribisi, and rounded off with Corporal Upham, played by Jeremy Davis. They take off into enemy territory to find a needle in a haystack. That is Private James Ryan, played by Matt Damon. The story that's told is one of grit, determination, and mostly brotherhood. that is, of course, Saving Private Ryan. Um, this movie was one of the first war movies that my mom probably did get mad at my dad for letting me watch. Um, so I remember that about this movie, but this movie I remember, man, how much appreciation you have for this movie when I first watched it as a kid to when I watched it when I was older and finally understood World War II a lot better. And my favorite scene is it's the opening scene, the storming of
Normandy.
yeah, Omaha Beach. That scene sticks with me every time I watch it. I find something new every time. How intense that is the whole time from when they're onto the beach, and then when they the door drops and then they work their way and fight their way up the beach, and just how that was shot and done was phenomenal. I mean, if that wasn't like Spielberg flexing like how much money he has for any movie he wants, like to me that's that opening scene, because that's how good it was. You could tell almost nothing was, you know, spared no expense for sure.
Yeah.
Every detail was phenomenal. Um, just a fantastic opening to a movie. Um, and the movie itself, I mean, Tom Hanks, I mean, the cast in itself is just it's just phenomenal. And that's not even, Ted Danson's in it for a hot second. Paul Giamatti's in it for a hot second. I mean, there's a lot of little like one-off cameos in here, and and we didn't get Vin Diesel for very long. And like just man, just a great cast. Great cast. So my number 3 is Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. I remember.
I'm assuming you guys have seen it.
Yes. Yes.
No, Emperor?
Really?
I have not seen it. I know it. I know of it, and I know the premise of it, but I've never sat down. Not a war movie guy. I mean, very
That's
few war
fair.
movies have I seen, and so it was never a draw for me, but I know people love it. So,
It is
I mean,
good.
I never picked on it because I never seen it, but um, because people love this movie so much. I mean, this
It's
is a
heavy.
top tier movie for a lot of people.
It's a heavy movie, especially with because it's kind of like a flashback. The movie is a flashback. So the way the movie starts and the way the movie ends is really, really done well.
Yeah.
Right
Good,
on,
good
right on.
choice. Great choice. All right. My number 12, 2013, directed by John Carney, starring Keira Knightley, Mark Ruffalo, Adam Levine, Haley Steinfeld, and James Corden. The Emperor asked me when he was at the house earlier today, "Did you take it off your list?" And I said, "Yeah." I didn't take it off my list. It's still on here. Um, I don't need to do the plot, but yep, you were spot on. I think we actually wrote off of the same plot on I'm assuming IMDb or whatever
Oh
you got
yeah,
yours off
yeah,
of.
yeah.
But signature scene for this movie for me, and this is my favorite song from the movie. That's Lost Stars. But
Oh yeah,
the scene where Adam Levine performs it acoustic in Keira Knightley's character's way, the way that she wrote it. And he did it for her, but she realizes that, he was a douche and she didn't want to go back to him, so she
right.
leaves. And yeah, it's a great movie. It is. We watched it last weekend and I enjoyed all of it again. So
Well, and the soundtrack is amazing
it
too.
is. It is.
The music that was written for her character in this movie, I mean, is great. I mean, they're all catchy tunes.
Mm-hmm.
I, when I talk about that opening scene where he sees her playing and then sees all the things, where he's figuring it out. The second one that I had was when they did that rooftop recording, and he brought his daughter up there who you could tell she doesn't really play guitar a lot, but she gets up there and records, and it turns into something really great. And there's something about that scene and that is wonderful too. So I mean, Colton, you got to watch this movie.
What I love about this movie is in that first half an hour, really, you're seeing kind of like I La La Land I think kind of does this, Colton, where it's like repeats the same from point A to point B, but it's each character's the way they got there. So you get Keira Knightley and how she got to the bar. You get Mark
Hmm.
Ruffalo and how he got to the bar. You get a little bit of James Corden and where he was at before they went to the bar and how he ended up with her again and they're friends from um wherever they're from. I'm assuming Britain or wherever, but England maybe. But yeah, just the way that they play that story out at the beginning and seeing how everybody ends up in that one spot for him to notice her and say, I want to sign you. And then realizing, like, well, I can't sign you because I kind of just got fired, but I want to work with you to get my job back. And then ends up being a whole different story there. But it's really good.
I love when they sat down with Saul
Yeah.
and after they get the demo done, and he's like, "Yeah, you got a great project here, and we want to do this and do that." And she's like, "Well, what does this mean?" And the other guy that's in the room turns to her and goes, "Well, let's say we sell a unit for $10, you get $1 of that." And then the other $9, goes to all this other stuff. And she's like, well, you don't have any overhead because we're not going to make copies. And the project itself is done because we did it. So why are you getting 9 of my $10? And it's just like, that is the music business. Boom, right there. Why are you getting 9 of my $10 when I've already done all the work?
Yep.
So yeah, so much great stuff in that movie. But like I said, if you're a musician, and Colton, you're a musician, so you might enjoy that aspect and that kind of form of the way it goes. But
The
yeah, if
production part
you're
of it.
yeah, exactly. Yes. That was your number 12, huh?
Yep.
Man, do you think that one could ever actually slide into your top 10?
Hmm. You know, I've looked at these posters on my wall many, many times and tried to pick which ones I could take out, and I can never come
Clerks.
up with one. I
I was
can't do
gonna
it.
go Clerks.
I can't do it.
Clerks.
I can't do it.
Call guys the call guys podcast at gmail.com. Just email in which one of the top 10 could come out. We all know it'd be Clerks.
Clerks isn't even my number 10 in my list.
Really? What's your number 10?
It's big. Big is my number 10.
Really?
Yes.
All right. All right.
I also made that list like 6 years ago, so
True. You could go through and
I mean, no, I
make
have the
some
posters.
adjustments.
It can never change.
Okay, that's it.
Oh
Forever
my
top 10.
gosh.
Forever top 10.
Yep.
All right, man. You want my number 2?
Yep.
All right. This year is the year of the movie's 2008, directed by Peter Kanekis. In the 80s, a drummer is abandoned by his band just before becoming rock superstars. 20 years later, the drummer sees his second chance at stardom arise when he is asked to perform with his teenage nephew's high school band. This stars Jason Sudeikis, Howard Hessman, Will Arnett, Bradley Cooper, Fred Armisen, Lonnie Ross, John Glacier. Oh, and Josh Gad, Teddy Geiger, Emma Stone, Christina Applegate, and Rainn Wilson. It is The Rocka. I tried to do a twist on it a little bit.
You had a lot more of the actors listed than I did, that's for sure.
Oh, Jason Sudeikis. Boop, boop. That's the sound of the money truck backing up to your door, Hoss. I couldn't pick a favorite scene. I loved a lot of this movie, from when their drummer Jeremy is brought over to band practice by his mom because he fed the Spanish teacher pot brownies and drew a penis on her face, to when Rain pukes in his hand and sticks in his pocket and says he
Puke
likes to
pocket.
rock a pocket of puke. Just so many great pieces of this movie. The music.
I always forget about the Guitar Hero scene too. That's
Oh
a good
yeah,
one.
yeah, yep, yeah. Him and Christina Applegate playing Guitar Hero in a hotel that it looks like a Super 8 motel, like it's all one level hotel with just a bunch of rooms spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I had to go on a date with some shorties. Anyways, my number two is The Rocker.
Great movie.
Nice.
What do you got, Colton?
My number two, it does not make me cry.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay, Emperor. But this was quite possibly my toughest pick of the night. 2004 film, Edgar Wright. This movie,
Sean.
this movie edges out and is better just by millimeters in the Cornetto trilogy, all because of a TV show named Spaced. And that is Shaun of the Dead.
Hold on. The podcast world is shocked
that it's not number one. I know that it's not number one. That it is not number one. So it's pretty much one day is normal, the next you're learning that removing the head or destroying the brain is the only way to get rid of the undead. This story follows Sean, who plays by Simon Pegg, in the shortest zombie apocalypse ever. He is accompanied by his best friend Ed, who's played by Nick Frost, and his on and again, off again girlfriend Liz, played by Kate Ashfield, with Liz's friends Diane, played by Lucy Davis, and David, played by Dylan Moran. There is truly only one place that you could be safe, and that's at the Winchester. But will they make it? Yes, I know out there in Call Guys land, this is a shocker. Logan, again, shout out for getting me hooked up with this website. Had to get some Shaun of the Dead merch. The best thing though about this though is that I've got this neat little frisbee, and it's titled The Winchester. Oh man, there we go. Kinda, sorta. So it's just titled In Case of a Zombie. And it has a scene from the movie where they're trying to figure out how to slow down these zombies. So they grab these records from the back shed and they go, Purple Rain. And the other one goes, no. Another one goes, Sign of the Times. The other guy goes, definitely not. They go, Batman soundtrack, throw it. So they whip this record at this zombie. It hits them, and just a great scene. I do not know how I had that in there. No.
Is there a reason they're all Prince titles?
Yeah, he was a huge Prince fan.
Okay.
So, like I said, it's an old album box that they find, and they're just chucking them. And some of them were his ex-girlfriends, and it's a great scene, Jeremy. You should, if you just, I know you haven't watched it yet, but if you just Google that scene, the record throwing scene, if you don't like that scene, you will not like the movie.
Fair.
But this movie is just fantastic. So Spaced is a TV show that was directed by Edgar Wright, and it had Simon Pegg and Jessica Haynes, who played his girlfriend / roommate in Spaced. And in the beginning, they walk by the apartments of where Space was actually filmed. And they do a one day where Sean walks this path in a very specific way to get to the store to get a cornetto. And then the next day he does it, and it's the zombie apocalypse that's all around him. But he's so hammered, he doesn't realize that anything's going on around him. But it's the same. I thought it was shot. Gunnar, you've seen the movie, haven't you?
Yep.
So I don't know how you thought, but I thought it was really cool how they shot those two is the exact same scene, but one was normal before the times, and then one was with the zombie apocalypse going on.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was cool. Middle part of the movie is when Sean and Ed are trying to save Barbara, which is played by Penelope Wilton, which is Sean's mother from Sean's stepdad Philip, played by the great Bill Nye. Um, Knightley, Knightley. Tony, don't kill me for that. I don't know how to say it, but he's a well-known British actor. He's really, really good. He's in the entire Cornetto trilogy. Um, and then the end is when they actually meet up in the Winchester and they're having their quote unquote last stand, and the jukebox is going off and Queen is playing um Don't Stop Me Now, and they're choreographing these fights to the song of the beat of the song. Sean gets enough of it and he yells, "Somebody kill the queen!" Oh gosh! And then they talk about all the little stuff and just a great. I can't say enough great things about this movie. You just need to watch it.
You might have it's on his Voodoo.
It's on the
Easy.
Voodoo twice.
It's on the Voodoo. Oh,
It
it's
is
on there
twice.
twice.
Yes.
All right. All right. All right.
Great
So
pick. Now I'm interested to see where your number one is.
exactly.
Oh,
But yeah, Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Absolutely fantastic.
Nice. Very, very
All right.
nice.
All right, Gunner, brother, what's your number 11?
Number 1 directed by Wes Anderson. Came out in 2001.
Oh,
Starring Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, Gwyneth Paltrow, Bill Murray, Ben Stiller, Danny Glover, Gene Hackman, and way more people in that movie than just them. The plot is that Royal, the father of 3 child prodigies, gets kicked out of his hotel that he's living in. He plans to fake that he is dying to try to rekindle his relationship with the love of his life and his grown children, all to have a place to live. This movie is called Royal Tenenbaums. And it's definitely a Wes Anderson film. Wes Anderson's a very artsy director. He puts things together with symmetry, and his cinematography is usually the same over and over and over again. But of all of his movies, this is the one that sticks out to me with the best story. And I think it's more so the family dynamic and the way that, you literally have 2 characters that are actual brothers in real life that aren't brothers in the movie, but the way they act, it just feels like it's all a family together. Gwyneth Paltrow plays a artist slash playwright. Ben Stiller plays a businessman. Like they're all super, they're child prodigies. But and then Luke Wilson plays a professional tennis player. So you get the stories about the kids and obviously Royal and his ex-wife, and it's really fun. Chaz has 2 kids, Uzi and I can't think of the other one, but he has 2 kids and he always wears a tracksuit. So they have afros and they're wearing tracksuits all the time. But signature scene is Royal takes his grandsons out on the town and they ride go-karts around and steal stuff, and they're riding go-karts through like a construction site with a bunch of forklifts and cars driving around. And it's a fun scene. The whole movie's really good. I actually watched it last week, I think. Made Sarah watch it. She absolutely hated it.
that's great.
Yep.
so Colton, I was over at the house just a little bit ago and to pick up some tables from the garage sale weekend, and I asked him about his list, and yeah, Sarah looked at me and that disgusting look and said, "I hate his list."
To be fair, I did change it. I have changed it since she said that the first time.
Yeah.
And she did watch Begin Again and enjoyed that, I'm pretty sure. So that one's good. I don't think she's ever seen Rear Window. She probably has never, well, she's seen The Dark Knight. I don't think she's ever seen Spotlight or The Fighter. So, and she hates The Social Network and she hates Spaceballs.
I'm thinking that all the listeners would give you $10 a piece if she ever sat down to watch Rear Window with you. I don't think you could talk her into it.
Sure, I could. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll just be on.
Yeah.
He's very confident.
That,
Hey, great list, man. It's a great secondary list you got going on there. I
like I
mean,
said, it was
really.
rough. It was rough. It was hard
Yeah,
to
yeah.
put that together.
Well, let me tell you how rough these things are because as I'm sitting here and we're going through this list, I realized that I forgot the replacements in my top 10. So, I mean, even now, as we're doing this, I
Trying to
mean,
redo your
I'm
list.
gonna redo my list. No, The Replacements is one of my all-time favorite movies. I don't know how I just, did not get that in there, but um, including uh I don't know, Twister and Draft Day, A Star is Born, The Doors, Pitch Perfect, Rockstar, The Goonies, Big Hero 6. I mean, Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison, Batman with Michael Keaton. I mean, just there's so many to actually more to choose from than just the top 10. And so, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying about being tough to pick just 10. And in your case, now you have 20, which, doesn't really
I
count,
need
but
more posters.
I know you better get
Birthday's coming
busy.
up, boys. Let's go. 11 by 7.
11 by
No, wait.
7.
Yeah.
No. 11 by 17.
17.
Sorry.
11, 17. Yeah. All right. Well, let me hit you with my number one.
Okay.
This is a 2015 movie, and I know Gunner probably knows what it is. It's directed by Max Joseph, and you might know Max as the guy who was behind MTV's Catfish, is one of the lead guys in that as a director or whatever. Um, Caught between a forbidden romance and expectations of his friends, aspiring DJ Cole Carter attempts to find the path in life that leads to fame and fortune. This movie stars Zac Efron, Wes Bentley, and Emily Ratajkowski. This movie is called We Are Your Friends. And it's not a very popular movie. You don't really hear much about it. I think I caught it on like one of those previews for on a VHS tape or no, I'm just fucking kidding. But I did catch it on a preview on something and piqued my interest and I got a chance to see this movie and I think I've seen it probably 150 times since then. And I catch new things in it every time. Max Joseph, I thought, did a great job in just giving the subtle little things. Like there's at one point where he's talking to this girl who wants him to play Crazy in Love, and it's not really what he does, but he's at a specialty party and Radikowski comes up and makes a comment and the girl rolls her eyes and walks away. And you don't really catch it because the more the scenes on Radikowski's character, but just out of the corner, you see this girl roll her eyes and you realize that nobody really likes this girl. And it's just a whole big thing. But um, my favorite scene is the ending. One of Zac Efron's crew, because he runs around with the three of his friends that do everything together. One of them dies, and he kind of puts together his final DJ set that he gets to play because Wes Bentley's character is a famous DJ and gets him in to the Pioneer DJ Fest, and he plays this song which revolves around um, Squirrel was the character about his death and just kind of what his character Cole's character goes through the entire movie. And like I said, once again, it's that movie that means more to me because it's a music movie. It's a lot about the music and it's a lot about those friendships that mean more to the friends than they do to the main character and how they want to control and move everything forward at their speed, let alone what Cole's getting to do and his things and the jealousy that revolves around that. Um, it's this movie's not for everybody. This is not something that Colton, I don't think that this would be a movie that you would sit down and go, this is a great movie. I think you would watch it and be like, it was really, in all honesty. But for me and all the stuff that goes along with everything I've done, this is kind of the speed of I understand this movie and I really, really like this movie. And I could watch it over and over again and quote the fucking thing from start to finish. But yeah, We Are Your Friends in 2015, starring Zac Efron.
I
Nice.
always love the scene where he runs through like, the beats per minute and how you get the heart pumping
Yeah.
and like what a DJ does through a song to rev you up for the drop and for
Right.
yeah, it's really good, really
Yeah,
neat.
it gets you up to that BPM.
Yep.
You start here and you kind of go up. Yeah, there's a lot of little things in this movie that you catch along the way, and that's another one of those little things that you don't really realize until you think about it, what he's talking about, and you're like, you're right, because you want to start off with that, you want to get him out there, but then by the time you're ready to really stomp on it and get it going, that you should be up to that 120 BPM. So love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. I'd watch it right now if I could.
Very nice.
You can't stream it anywhere. You only can watch it on DVD.
Go figure.
What's a DVD? Colton,
Man, my number one is a 1990 film,
Miramax.
Warner Brothers, Martin Scorsese. All my life, I wanted to be a gangster. An
Marty.
all-time movie quote that changes the protagonist, Henry Hill, played by none other than the great Ray Liotta. Life's forever. This movie follows Henry's life from a kid to working his way up into the mafia ranks from the 60s through the 70s in New York. Along the way, he's paired up with criminal-minded James Conway, played by none other than Robert De Niro, an enforcer, Tommy DeVito, played none other than Joe Pesci. And the three of them learn the life of the mob together. Actions have consequences, but will their actions ever catch up to them? That's right. This is Goodfellas, my all-time favorite movie. From start to finish, the movie starts with that quote of all of my life, I wanted to be a gangster. And he's literally got the trunk open of a car and he's burying a body. Really, my favorite scenes of this movie is when there's narrating going on. And it's mostly done just between Ray Liotta and his wife, who for some reason, I don't have her name out here. Those two are the two main ones who do most of the narrating during certain scenes and whatnot. She has a scene where she gets picked up. She has a neighbor, a neighbor guy who kind of creeps her out a little bit. So Ray Liotta went over there and talked to him, put a 38 snub nose across his nose a couple times and told him to stay away, and gives her the gun to hide. And she's like, most of my friends would have called the cops, but I found it attractive. I was like, what? Yeah, I was gonna call the cops. Dude's crazy. Like, an all-time favorite scene is when Ray Liotta and his wife are walking through this club through the back door, and they're getting a table, and it's kind of just goes through what a mob style restaurant looked like, because it's always pushing stuff that's not being sold in the store in and out at all the times. They're keeping stuff in there, like, just a great scene there. At the end of the movie, Ray Liotta breaks the fourth wall and he kind of talks about his life and how it's unraveling in front of his eyes, and how he's trying to make decisions that's best for him and not for and not for the Italian family or the mob that he has grown up with. And have any of you guys seen Goodfellas?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great movie. I mean, really, really, I mean, that is a good number one. I'm glad that one's your number one, because so many great scenes. I think probably one of the best scenes for me in that movie is them sitting at the table and Pesci be like, "You think I'm funny?" Getting into that whole bit.
Oh,
And
I know. They're at the club, and he's like,
yeah,
do I find you amusing?
yeah,
Am I like ha ha funny like a clown?
yeah.
And Ray Liotta just keeps egging them on.
Oh yeah.
The Latanza heist, which is an actual real heist. a neat little fun fact in that scene is when Ray Liotta is in the shower and he's listening to it on the radio. That was the actual news broadcast from the radio that played.
Nice.
So that was a neat little tidbit there. Um, just Martin Scorsese, and you get Ray Liotta, De Niro, and Pesci. Those four together are gonna make a fantastic mob movie.
Well, even their back cast, even the all the other people that just kind of came in and out were amazing. I mean, amazing actors. You know their faces. I can't think of all their names right at the moment.
Oh
But
yeah, I mean, Paulie, the main mobster,
yeah,
the main boss. He's that guy. I can't think of his face. I can't think of his name, but I can see his face.
right. Yeah.
Do you know whose this first movie was? One of the first movies that this guy ever did. Really, really young in this guy's acting career. He gets killed. He got about 20 seconds of screen time.
Oh, we've talked about this.
Yes, we have.
Elevator? Has he had an elevator? No.
No, that's The Departed.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of that movie.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson
Okay.
plays the getaway driver and didn't wipe down the van, didn't wipe down the truck. So they leaked it back to him, and Pesci put a couple in the back of his head. Yep. Samuel L. Jackson's in it for a hot minute.
I definitely need to go back and rewatch that. It's been a minute since I've seen it, but I've seen it several times because it is that set down. You can watch that movie. The only thing for me was it seemed they had a lot of story to tell. So they were telling the story. So it seems a little long in the tooth in certain spots, but I mean, it's the story. So you got to have all that stuff in there. So,
because it's based, this is a real dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I think we've talked about this. We touched on it once before. Howard Stern used to, Henry Hill used to call into the show and all the time about different things. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's
great. That's a great number one, man. That is an amazing number one.
So, if you haven't watched it out there, go watch it. It's one of the all-time great mob movies ever,
for sure.
Mobsters.
So that's it. That's the list, man. We made it. We survived.
We made it.
We were on long enough to see Boston get their first win. Let's go,
baby. There you go. They won by how many 3 points?
107-89. It popped ESPN. It popped up and I was like, oh, game's over.
Colt's attention completely changes.
Yeah, it was like top 3. It was perfect. Perfect time. No, great list, guys. That was fun. That was on duplicates, that was about 28 movies.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, definitely enjoyed everybody's list.
Yeah, what did we do? The Rocker and Begin Again. That was it, right?
Begin Again, yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
Is that on the Voodoo?
Begin Again is not.
Okay.
No, I think we streamed it on
Prime.
I'm thinking it was Prime.
Prime Video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find it on there. The Rocker is on Voodoo, though, pretty sure.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I think when I bought the DVD, it had a digital, but it didn't work right, and so I was never able to download it.
Oh.
Shame.
Well, that blows.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's why I bought you a copy of the DVD, because he kept trying to steal mine. I'm like, no, that's my movie. God damn it. It's mine. It's mine. Here's your own copy.
Well, you get rid of those DVDs that are behind you. I'm going to go through them and take a bunch of them.
There's a lot of DVDs right there.
Yep. You don't watch them. I got a nice place to store them here.
They're stored right here.
Well,
I probably have your
right.
top 10 in there somewhere.
That's what I want to put the DVDs next to the posters.
Ooh, that would be neat.
I'm not sure how he's going to do that with the posters being so close together.
Oh, I'll figure it out. I can move them. They're just nailed to the wall. We'll get it figured out. All right, let me get us out of here. We're pushing a 11:15 on a Thursday night. We all got to work tomorrow.
Turn up.
I
Turn
haven't
up.
slept in I haven't slept in 3 days. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, some of us go to concerts on Sundays and go to work the next day. Okay.
Hey,
I
Yeah.
know. I
proud
know
of
a
you.
response. I know a response would have been some of us are dumb enough to go to a
Yeah.
concert on a Sunday and go to work the next day.
Well, it depends on where the concert's at. If it was in Fort Wayne, I'd be okay. But that one was in Chicago.
And I would do it
We
again.
lost an hour.
We did lose an hour.
All right,
Absolutely.
everybody. Thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. Emperor, thank you for coming on to the Call Guys podcast to do this episode.
Thank you for letting me invite myself to come on and do the top 10.
Yeah. Did you invited yourself on like the golden 80s to come on, didn't you?
I can't remember. No, I was talking. I can't remember when I did it. I did it to Chico. I was
I
like,
think
I'm
it
going to
was
be
on the
on.
Golden 80s. Pretty
Was
sure.
it? Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure it was.
There you go.
It's okay.
Hey, that's why I'm the emperor.
You do what you want.
It's true.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. You can watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Call Guys podcast or click the link in the show notes for every podcast that you're listening to from the Call Guys. If you want to find us on all your social medias, Facebook, facebook.com/thecallguyspod, Instagram @thecallguys, TikTok @thecallguyspodcast. Also, go check out goldenmojoent.com, where you can find all of the other podcasts on the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network, whether that be the Golden 80s, Golden Image Podcast, United States Paranormal, Indiana Chiefs fans, old episodes of Recorded Books and Booze, or Murdnerds, and then soon to come some more stuff. Murdnerds is on the rebound here soon. Football season's coming, so Chiefs fans will be back, and the Gridiron Kings will become a part of the Golden Mojo family.
Yep.
And then check out the merch store. Go get yourself a Rotten Ranger shirt, or get yourself an IPA, Infant Pale Ale, not your mother's milk shirt. Got yelled at for not plugging the not your mama's milk.
I love that. I love that tagline. I love the tagline, and you didn't use it when you were talking about it before. The tagline is not your mother's milk. I love that tagline. Make sure you use it because that's going to sell those t-shirts.
Hopefully, that's the goal. Yeah. So check out the merch store. Get your Call Guys gear. Wear it. Send us pictures. Love to see you in your Call Guys gear.
I'm wearing my Call Guys hat right now.
I'm wearing a Coors Light shirt. Colton's wearing the Winchester.
I wore this to the JACC last night for just so you know. I was
Nice.
repping all night long.
As you should be. Hey, that the not your mama's milk shirt does have a Call Guys logo on the arm if you want.
Absolutely.
So it is a Call Guys shirt. All right, you guys got anything else?
Love you, brother.
Love your brother.
Love you, brothers. Love you, sons.
All right. For all those out there in podcast land, I'll see you next time.
Later.
Still not as good as the Emperor's.
Bye. See ya.
Beep, 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 boop.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta
Baby.
la vista, Emperor.
I see you on the other side.
Spaceballs the lunchbox. Are you ready? Colton, you
Yep.
ready?
Yeah,
I gotta force you to shut this thing off. That's not happening.
Unless you're driving to the house.
It's like asking a brick wall to move.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm almost done with my pizza though, so
We probably oughta wait till he finishes eating.
Yeah, probably.
no, man, you're good. Just roll with it. Unless you guys
All
can
right.
hear me chewing.
That's the problem. It ain't the fact that I'm watching you eat. It's I can hear you eat.
How fast
Just
can Cole eat a slice of pizza?
Just eat. Just mute your mic when you chew. There you go. But you got to be there for the opening.
What do you want? What do you want from me? All right, you ready?
Put that DVR on pause.
No, baby, this is live. We ain't doing none of that. I don't know how you guys do it on Chiefs game days and stuff like that. There's no way.
We have never recorded on a Chiefs game day. The
Makes sense.
only time we recorded during we recorded on a Monday night, and that was when the Buffalo guy had that fucking died on the field.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that is
Phil
the
wouldn't
only.
shut up.
Died on the field.
He died on the field.
Uh,
I can't even think of his name. Hamlin?
yeah, Damar.
Damar Hamlin.
Damar.
Okay.
Lamar.
I'm on the last page. On the last bite.
I'm on the last page.
You got to be able to get some clips out of that.
Hey, that's
Oh
a
crap,
that
we're
last
rolling.
piece.
I forgot.
Last piece. That's not a bite. You gonna do that in one bite? I've done it.
Don't.
As soon as I started looking at you, my stomach started to like growl at me like that was a bad idea, Colton.